puppy, a kitten, a baby. I saw it. I saw the softening of the facial muscles, the hint of a smile. Mr. Contest Master, fellow test masters again, and most welcome guests. I would wager that just about everyone in this room at one time or another had considered adopting a puppy or a kitten, and in some cases, maybe a child. Why? Companionship, personality. In the case of a puppy or kitten, theirs more than yours, and responsibility. Every parent knows to teach your child to be responsible and to care for another being, you get them a puppy or a kitten that is totally their responsibility. And of course, every child follows through. Like the word cancer, the word adoption is rarely spoken in whispers behind closed doors now. You hear about it in the news. You see it on the front pages of the newspaper, like this article recently in our local paper. A family adopted 2 children from eastern New Orleans. This type of adoption is considered an open adoption for logical reasons, with the political boundaries and things like that. Another thing about the open adoption is the biological family and the adopting family can know any degree of information about the other, and if the biological parent is going to have anything to do with the child as they grow, it is determined at this time to what extent. But today, still, the most common type of adoption is the closed adoption. In other words, this side knows nothing about that side, and this side knows less about that side. It helps in a way because then the new family starts out on an even playing field. But it can have its problems also. Remember recently, or whenever you went to a new doctor, or maybe a clinic of some sort. After they check to find out about your insurance and which limb you plan on losing to pay for the bill, they hand you a clipboard with a ream of papers on it for your medical history and your family medical history. Now, the HIPAA international laws say that all that information is confidential. I choose to share my medical history with all of you here, because you've all just become my very close friends. In detail, here is my medical history. I hope all of you can see each of the little details on here. You see, I have always known that I was adopted. It was like freckles, although I really don't like the freckles. But it was private. Private in my home meant that you only discussed it, if you had to, with your parents. I went to college, and like most college girls, you know, one night in the lounge, you're all sitting around talking, and I am not going to be going to any of that with you. I heard this voice, strangely sounded like mine, saying, "Oh yeah, I was adopted." Total silence. I just committed social suicide. The first thing I heard was, "Wow, that's great." Totally changed my personal opinion about being adopted. You don't have to keep it a secret. To give you another idea of a closed adoption, today's world with the internet and everything, family trees and genealogy is becoming really, really, really popular. And with most of you, this will probably be your family tree all the way back to Adam and Eve down here, the whole span of your family. Back to when? Again, because you're such close personal friends, here's my family tree. Please notice the shears. Okay, this part is my family tree. This is me on a good day. Now, one of the things that can set me off being Irish is you don't know how they're going to turn out. Excuse me. You biological parents, when your child was 2 months old, 2 years old, 12 years old, maybe as much as 22 years old, did you know how they were going to turn out? Answer honestly. If you do a few things, whether it's a puppy, a kitten, or a child, set logical boundaries and goals, have a loving and secure environment, and be forgiving of small infractions, you got a pretty good chance that you are going to get the dog, cat, or person that you're dreaming about. A couple things about adopted children. They've been studied for over 100 years. Adopted children consistently score higher, substantially higher scholastically. They use drugs and alcohol less. They are less, shall we say, moody, depressed. The one thing they do is they strive for acceptance, a positive response. Anybody in here hear of Bill Clinton? His infractions I wouldn't exactly call little, but he got elected president twice. Dave Thomas, Wendy's is number 3. Faith Hill walks on stage, John Lennon. If anyone in here knows somebody or is thinking of adopting, keep in mind, what would be so horrible about having someone potentially smarter, happier, and more sober as part of your family?